As they come across the line now, it's Vettel who's going to take his first points, so what he'll be hoping will be the first of many times in his career. Sebastian Vettel gets to enjoy the champagne on the podium, and he enjoys it with his idol Michael Schumacher. But here we go then, Red Bull have offered him the position of the first driver. We said it looked like the future would be bright, and it's certainly looking that way now then. And Sebastian Vettel is going to come across the line to win the Monaco Grand Prix. An easy race for him as he comes across the line then to win the Chinese Grand Prix. Over the next few years, Vettel and the Red Bull team built up a strong partnership. In 2009, drastic changes to the sport and regulations saw the Austrian team fighting at the front more regularly, and the following year Sebastian made history as he became the youngest ever Formula 1 World Drivers' Champion. In 2011, Red Bull made even more progress, and so did Sebastian. The German won 11 races on his way to a second world title, compared to his teammates Webber's one victory. Despite this, questions and doubts were floating around regarding his success. Was it talent or just down to the car? Those questions were soon answered in 2012. The field was much tighter and Red Bull were no longer dominant. Despite this, Vettel took 5 victories and sealed the title by just 3 points over Ferrari's Fernando Alonso, with an incredible comeback in a dramatic final race. 2013 started with the front-running teams looking close on pace once again. Unfortunately for his rivals, Vettel was in the form of his life and won 4 races in the first half of the season, including an elusive home victory at the Nürburgring. Upgrades kept on coming during the middle part of the season, and Red Bull was soon dominant again. Vettel continued to break records as he won all of the remaining 9 races to seal the 4th world title by a huge margin. This successful period was not without controversy, however, with Vettel coming to blows with his teammate Webber on many occasions. The partnership between team and driver remained strong though, and it looked like it would continue in harmony for years to come. But it wasn't to last. Another big change to the regulations for the 2014 season saw Renault fail to deliver with the new power units, and Red Bull lacked mileage in testing. Due to this, Vettel struggled to get to grips with the new car. Webber had left F1 and was replaced with fellow Aussie Daniel Ricciardo, who had never driven as good a car as the RB10 and adapted excellently to beat the 4-time world champion and finished best of the rest behind the dominant Mercedes cars. Meanwhile, Vettel failed to win a race for the first time since his debut year and was considering a change of team, one that had always been in mind. Whilst Vettel was going through a difficult phase, so was the Ferrari team. Despite coming close in 2010 and 2012, they had failed to win a world championship since the regulation changes in 2009. The Alonso-Ferrari partnership that seemed a match made in heaven was just not working, and in 2014 the Scuderia enjoyed a winless season for the first time in 20 years. Alonso was looking elsewhere, and an opening was appearing at Ferrari. In November 2014, it was finally announced that after years of success with Red Bull, Sebastian Vettel would live his childhood dream and join the Ferrari team. The legendary team was going through a lot of changes, with President Luca Di Montezemolo stepping down, as well as interim team principal Marco Mattiacci being replaced by Maurizio Arrivabene. The team, however, have stuck with Kimi Räikkönen, who had a miserable 2014 campaign and is already good friends with his new teammate. 2015 will be an interesting season for Vettel. His reputation is on the line after being beaten by his inexperienced teammate, and he joins a team that also has its reputation on the line after failing to deliver for many years. This is Formula 1 2015. Alright everyone, and welcome to the new Vettel Career on F1 2015. And here we are then for the first race in Australia, and yeah, I hope you guys are looking forward to the start of this series, or sort of the revamp of this series I guess, because it's sort of a continuation of the one we were doing before. If you're new to the channel and you don't know about it, there's going to be a link to the playlist of the old Vettel Career, which was on F106, and it's sort of, I guess, now serves as sort of a prelude to this one, and yeah, that series did really well for me. It gave me quite a few subscribers. It was my most popular series in terms of the sort of views and likes, and just, you know, I got a lot of positive comments from it, and yeah, it really it was really nice to see, and like I said, I'm not really that used to, and I'm certainly hoping that sort of it can carry on that way with this series, and I'm really hoping that you guys who enjoyed the 06 series are going to enjoy this one as well, because yeah, I think that with this new game now on, of course, on the new gen consoles, it's a real opportunity to just make the series even better, and just keep on improving it, and hopefully yeah, we can sort of get the sort of the main goal that I had when I first started the series, which was to win the World Championship with Ferrari, and certainly that's what we'll be going out there to do this season then, and in this sort of new series or new continuation, whatever. And here we are then in Australia. This is practice. No running on the prime tyres, no running on the option tyres, sorry, for us, but yeah, 8th place in the end for Vettel, and not too bad I don't think, considering most others did option tyre runs near the end on low fuel, and he didn't, but yeah, here's what happened then in qualifying. Mercedes dominated in 2014 and showed no signs of letting up in 2015. The new double world champion Lewis Hamilton took pole position by less than 0.03 of a second from teammate Nico Rosberg. The two drivers were nearly half a second clear of their nearest rivals, and it's already looking like they will be the two contenders for this season's championship. After a dismal 2014, Ferrari looked like they've made some excellent progress over the winter. Kimi Raikkonen qualified third and was best of the rest by a whole second. On the other side of the garage, it was frustration for Sebastian Vettel in his first qualifying for the Scuderia, as he couldn't get a clean lap together and is out of position in 11th. He has a long race ahead of him. Red Bull looked to have lost some ground over the winter, but that wasn't to stop home hero Daniel Ricciardo putting on a great display for the fans. He starts from the second row and will be hoping to get a legitimate podium this time around. The Aussie's lap time looks even more impressive compared to the newly promoted teammate Daniel Kvyat, who could only manage 13th in the other car. 2015 sees the emergence of 5 rookies to the sport, and all of them made a good first impression. Felipe Nasr lines up 7th for Sauber in his first race, out-qualifying teammate Marcus Ericsson by 0.7 of a second, while F1's youngest ever driver Max Verstappen is 9th on his debut, at the age of just 17. Both he and his fellow rookie at Toro Rosso, Carlos Sainz Jr., out-qualified the main Red Bull car of Kvyat, and both will have hopes of scoring points on their debut. Meanwhile, at the back of the field, Lando Marussia recovered from a winter of uncertainty to set times within 107% of pole. Neither Will Stevens or Roberto Merri had turned the wheel in the car before this weekend, so it's a great achievement for the team. The McLaren-Honda partnership was one that many had been waiting for with much anticipation. However, Saturday proved to be a big anticlimax. Their world champion drivers Fernando Alonso and Jenson Button are only 17th and 18th respectively, but the Woking team insists that this was not to be expected at this early stage of the season, and that mileage is more important for now. So it's yet another Mercedes lockout then of the front row, with Lewis Hamilton ahead of Nico Rosberg. Kimi Raikkonen will be delighted with 3rd place, as will his Ferrari team, as will Daniel Ricciardo with 4th in front of his home crowd. Felipe Massa was comfortably faster than Valtteri Bottas, with the new rookies Nasr and Verstappen both making the top 10 in the first time of asking them. Sebastian Vettel was disappointed with 11th then, as was Daniel Kvyat in 13th, and McLaren and Manor both have a lot of work to do then if they're going to catch up this season.
The crowd are here and here in force for what is going to be a fantastic day of racing. Welcome to the Australian Grand Prix. It's a great position for Lewis Hamilton to start the season from, and one that he'll be hoping he can capitalise on and turn into a race win today.
Well, we all know that Lewis has raw speed, and if you give him a fast car, he'll win races. So if he can stay out front by the end of the first few corners, I'm sure he's going to be very difficult to beat.
Felipe Massa looks to have the edge over Valtteri Bottas this weekend. He'll be hoping to cement that by finishing ahead of his teammate in today's race.
Felipe has been looking quick this weekend, and if he can carry that into today's race, he could be on for a good result. As for Valtteri, he wasn't looking comfortable with his setup yesterday, and we'll hope it works better for him over the long stints today.
So here we are then on the grid, and we're now going to take a look at the strategy then. It's going to be a 2-stop race, or at least that's what the plan is. And the tyres are a lot better in terms of wear, so hopefully prime tyres won't be needed too much then, and we can do most of the racing options. The lights are coming on now then. And away we go in Australia for the start of the 2015 season, and Vettel's first start with Ferrari then has not got off to a good one, as he's been passed by Sainz, Kvyat and Maldonado towards turn 1. He's braking on for turn 1, he's in fact passed Sainz again and forced Kvyat out wide. There's a little bit of contact with Sainz I think, and he has in fact got a warning for that, but he's got away with it and he's back up into 11th place where he started then, and hopefully now he can get on the attack of a few cars in front of him and get into the points, because he was disappointed after qualifying. 11th place was not the car's potential at all, and just not feeling it at all, especially with Kimi Räikkönen up in third. He's now looking at Max Verstappen then towards turn 7, and very aggressive with the young rookie there, only 17 years old, but he forced him out of the way and he's up into 10th place then. So Vettel ruthless on his first lap, and that's where he needs to be. He can't be as cautious as he maybe would have liked to, and he needs to really get on the attack straight away then today if he's going to get a good result. As up ahead we see Valtteri Bottas, who had a bad qualifying. He's looking at the other rookie Felipe Nasr. It looks like he's brushed the wall there slightly. He did the same last year. In fact, he's dropping back, so it looks like he once again has got himself damaged, and Vettel is up into 9th place then. So that's 2 places up from where he started then, and Bottas is going backwards then quickly. We now see a replay of the start then, and it seems everyone got away well except really for Vettel there. You see a lot of wheel spin coming off from his car then. 2 Mercedes, 1 and 2 into turn 1, comfortable for them. And further back we see Vettel battling with Maldonado and Sainz there, and I think there's a little bit of contact. Sainz all went across the grass a little bit. See then this start from Kvyat, and he gets a good launch here then. Again alongside Vettel then, not a lot of room on the outside, but he sees a nice gap and he thinks, I'll have a bit of that, but then it just goes a bit wrong. Vettel there shoots through the middle. The track extends a little bit, and he's Kvyat lost quite a bit of ground there going wide, and now he's been passed by Maldonado as well. And we see a few corners later in the lap, Vettel with that rather aggressive move on Max Verstappen there. And now we skip to another few corners later, then we see on board with Bottas. What happened then? He was looking to the outside Nasr and just completely not concentrating at all then, just banged into the wall, and for the second year in a row, while he's ruined his race, or certainly hampered his race quite a lot in that part of the track then. As we skip to lap 2 now, then Vettel's still on the attack, and he's going after one of the other rookies now, and Felipe Nasr, he's up into 8th place. That was a nice and simple move there. Got a good run out of turn 12, and it was nice easy move then into 8th place, and he's now behind Romain Grosjean and Nico Hülkenberg, who were battling over 6th and 7th, and it took him actually quite a few laps then to get past him. And we're on to lap 5 now, and he still wasn't past him as they look towards turn 13 now then, and Vettel right up behind him there, almost on his rear wing, but Grosjean defending the place very well then, and Vettel could not find a gap to go for then. So we head now towards the penultimate corner, and now Grosjean covering his bases very well there, and Vettel still without a way through then, and still down in 8th place, and he really needs to get a move on here then, or else he's going to be nowhere near a decent result then today. And we skip to lap 7 now, he's still not through. A little bit of contact out of turn 12, that's going to really hinder his run then out of the corner, and towards turn 13 again, he's not going to be close enough to make a move. He's just going to have to hope that he can get a good run through here, and maybe into one of the final few corners get a good line, or maybe just rely on DRS. But he's got a very good run out of turn 14. He's alongside now, so Grosjean can't force him out, and Vettel round the outside and in the penultimate corner as Hülkenberg pits. I believe Grosjean does as well, and yeah, Vettel into 6th place, and so he's now got DRS to go after Ricciardo then, as Raikkonen's in the pit, so that's interesting then. 2 teammates then, but Kimi in a couple of laps earlier then, so maybe Ferrari going with a split strategy here then, because that's looking more like 3-stop territory there then, only coming in on lap 7, as we see Vettel now starting to lose the tyres a little bit then, sliding about a lot as he is right on the back of Daniel Ricciardo now then, and Ricciardo beat him at Red Bull last season. Vettel, remembering that, he goes straight around the outside into turn 11, quite an aggressive move there, didn't give the Aussie much room there, but yeah, he's through and into 4th place, and we see that one again then, and of course Vettel with 2014 firmly in his memory, and yeah, didn't give Daniel Ricciardo there much room to work with then, as he just drove around the outside of him. The Ferrari have made a lot of progress with the engine compared to Renault this year, it seems, and you can see that Red Bull have dropped back quite a bit. Just getting up to lap 9 then, Vettel in for his in lap, and it's up to 3rd then, because Rosberg came in on the previous lap, so that's interesting then. Maybe Mercedes doing something a bit different here as well then. To get into the pits then, it looks like well, there you see Massa's already just come out of the pits. Looks like Hamilton's already gone as well. So yeah, Vettel comes in for a stop then, another set of option tyres, and away he goes then. Nice 2.5 second pit stop there, so that'll be a good stop for him there. See Verstappen in as well behind, and looks like Massa's gone through. No, he already came into the pits, so Vettel's in 5th place then. So as he jumped this group then, it grows on Hülkenberg, Ricciardo, but no, this stupid glitch that's in F1 2015 has got him stuck in 2nd gear out of the pits, and through goes Grosjean, Ricciardo, Hülkenberg, and Vettel's about 2 or 3 seconds behind them now already. And he's got a bad run out of turn 2, and now Felipe Nasr is getting alongside him then on the outside towards turn 3, and through he goes then, and wow, that glitch just ruining everything really. It could have been 5th place, but instead it's 9th. Now they're out of the pits, and he's straight on the attack then. Later on in the lap, once his tyres are up to speed, he's looking at Felipe Nasr then, as he passed him exact same way in on lap 2. He's done the same thing here then, and up into 8th place he goes once again. Now he's looking at Hulkenberg, who has now been passed by Grosjean as well, so Grosjean is certainly making progress in this race, and now so is Vettel as he gets alongside Hulkenberg out of turn 12 and towards turn 13, a side by side on the brakes, and through he goes and into 7th place. And yeah, turned into certainly an interesting drive so far then, as he goes back up to mix 2 then. Was done with that bit of fuel saving there, as he's now once again at turn 12. That seems to be his favourite overtaking place of the day then. Gets a very good run on Grosjean then. They're going side by side towards turn 13. Looks like Vettel's just about got it though. He has a kick of oversteer though on the exit, and he's through into 6th place though, but Grosjean certainly wasn't going to let that one go easily. And see a replay of it here then. Grosjean certainly felt he could have had a chance from the outside. Of course, it cost him any chance of finishing the race here in 2012, but yeah, they managed to avoid contact here then. We see a replay of it from on board Grosjean now then, and yeah, he's on the outside, and of course the collision here with Maldonado on the first lap cost him in 2012, but yeah, they somehow avoided contact there, and Vettel got through into 6th place. A nice move there from him, and not much happening for the rest of this stint then, as Vettel was now into 6th place and was slowly catching Ricciardo as Raikkonen came in quite early again then, only lap 17, but he went a bit further on this set of tyres, so maybe now he will be able to go with prime tyres to the end of the race then. But nonetheless, Vettel into 5th place then, and yeah, on the next lap we see there's a yellow flag up ahead now then, as we'll have to see what that's all about then, as it's now green, but as we're heading into turn 13 we see that there is a little bit of debris about, so it does seem that someone up ahead has had a little bit of an incident here then, and will it be something that will claim it to Vettel's house then? We see a Williams going straight up ahead then. There must be Felipe Massa, because Bottas is down the field then having a bad race, and yeah, was it something to do with Felipe Massa then? We'll have to find out, see if we can get a replay on that then, as Vettel comes in now for his stop, as does Ricciardo and Massa then, and we'll have to see them go past Williams garage, and yep, they're preparing a front wing then, so something happened to Felipe Massa then on that in lap, and yeah, it's costing then, as Ricciardo's gone through and so's Vettel, and Massa now only just coming out of the pits, out of his pit box, and well, Vettel now into his target of 5th place then, which they set after qualifying. So yeah, it's not turned into such a bad day after all then for Vettel, and out of the pits in 5th place then, and no weird glitches then out of the pits this time, so that certainly helped him. But we now see a replay of what happened then to Felipe Massa on his in lap. He's going up to lap Maldonado and Perez here then, and well, look at that then, Maldonado just slowing down on the straight, and Massa going into the wall, losing his front wing. Perez didn't really do much to help either in the build up to that then, as we see they were trying to battle but not really expecting the blue flags as Perez nearly collided with him, then Maldonado just stopping in the middle of the straight, and it's incredible that Massa's even still in the race at all then, as we clouted the barriers with that much force. And yep, that's what cost him then, as Ricciardo and Vettel now both passed him then, and we're skipping on to lap 24 once again. Not really anything happening during the stint between the pit stops then. We now in fact Ricciardo actually pulled away from Vettel then in this final attempt on prime tyres, and as Roberto Merri, the last of the 20 runners and all of them still going in this race, lets Vettel through, and there's yellow flags out, no overtaking, and who's that against earlier? It's Nico Rosberg then. One of the Mercedes is in trouble, and yellow flag, so Vettel thinks better past him there, but then Rosberg runs wide, so he's through, and there's Bottas off there in the Williams then a lap down, and we see a few cars bunching there, and Ricciardo's been held up then by a few back markers in there, and as we go into the penultimate corner, Stevens and Maldonado battling over 17th. There's more contact then, bodywork fly off both cars, around the final corner Stevens repasses Maldonado then for 17th place, and well, they're both going to have to let Vettel through him, but then Raikkonen's in the pits again, so something happened to him. Vettel with DRS then, so that helps him catch up to Ricciardo a little bit, but we're now going to see what was going on there, and Perez once again, as he's put Rosberg in the wall. I mean, he wasn't entirely at fault for the Massa incident, but there he's just run off the track and then rejoined back across and just put Rosberg in the wall. That's shocking stuff there. And then around the same time, Bottas had a puncture on his rear left. Alonso had to take avoiding action there out of the corner. So it's all going off in this lap, and then Bottas just limping back to the pits. He had half a lap to go, and then his fellow Finn, Kimi Räikkönen, just not paying attention at all, slammed into the back and loses his front wing. There's more contact on the exit of the corners. Bottas goes spinning. Stevens has nowhere to go, and has a little contact with him, and then Ricciardo and Maldonado both running wide there. You see Rosberg as well, and Vettel and Merry both going through a little bit more contact there as well. And then Bottas, his teammate there, Massa, going through as well in 4th place. But yeah, Bottas not having a good day at all then. And well, what drama then. I've seen Ricciardo and Vettel now into the podium places. And well, that's how it stayed for the rest of the race then, with Hamilton already taking the win. But how about this then? Vettel qualified 11th and was just not looking with it at all. And well, he's now on for a podium finish then in his first race for Ferrari. That'll be, well, a dream come true for him then, of course. A childhood dream, obviously following Michael Schumacher at Ferrari then. And with just one corner to go then, Vettel's going to come around the final corner, and his first race for Ferrari is going to end with a podium finish in Australia.
Yes, be free. Well done, mate. Well done. Good job. Ragazzi, forza Ferrari.
Sebastian Vettel then on the podium for his first race for Ferrari, along with Daniel Ricciardo and Lewis Hamilton. And well, maybe he will be a little bit annoyed that Ricciardo beat him once again. But the Ferrari team is certainly happy with that one. They only got 2 podiums in 2014, so they'll be delighted to start this one off with a podium. And it's Hamilton that wins the race and the reigning world champion. And Ricciardo there in 2nd place. Let's hope he keeps this one this time. And yeah, Vettel will be delighted, I'm sure, with that 3rd place finish then at Melbourne. And yeah, we're now going to look at the results then. And it's Lewis Hamilton then, who takes the win by 43 seconds from Daniel Ricciardo. So he was just in another league today then. Obviously still out of trouble as well. Daniel Ricciardo there in 2nd, ahead of Sebastian Vettel. Massa was 4th in the end then. He and Raikkonen could have both been on the podium today, but wasn't to be. Neither was it for Nico Rosberg there down in 6th place. Grosjean and Jenson Button there in 8th place from McLaren Honda, along with Fernando Alonso then. They both get points from McLaren Honda then. First time of asking. Max Verstappen then becomes the youngest ever point scorer there in 9th place. Danny Kvyat only 11th despite his teammate being on the podium. For the 2 Force Indias, they just didn't have the pace that they needed to the Saubers. But Will Stevens up there in 15th place from Mana Marussia. They had no testing of that car at all, and Will Stevens got himself up into 15th place. His teammate Roberto Merry though, 3 laps down and with a penalty, so not a good day for him. Carlos Sainz there having a retirement. And yep, drives down as you'd expect then, with Hamilton at the top from Ricciardo and Vettel. And yeah, Felipe Massa and Kimi. And then Ferrari in 2nd place, and due to the fact that both their drivers scored points today. But that is it for this first race of the season. If you did enjoy it, leave a like, and I'll see you next time for the Malaysian Grand Prix. So thank you for watching, and goodbye.